Got these cones lined out because when I'm throwing my shots, I'm thinking about paralleling my swing to the line that my feet are on. That's what I do on every swing. So no matter if I'm throwing a hyzer shot or a flat shot or an anhyzer, basically my swing is going to match my feet. So I'm keeping things symmetrical. So I want to keep that same theory in mind when I'm practicing my ProPull, because even if I were doing my towel drill and I had no ProPull, I'm still going to be reaching up the parallel of my line, turning my hips and firing out in front of me. And that's basically what I've been utilizing this ProPull to do, is to really work my motion slow and build up more muscle for more speed. So basically what I'm going to do is just like I would do and show anybody for any of my normal swings in a clinic or a lesson, is that when I start my throwing motion, I'm going to start with the disc hovering over the line. And this is kind of what I call a neutral position. So you see how I'm square with my feet, my arm is connected to my torso here, and the disc is more or less off of my back hip. Now, a lot of people do this 90-degree thing, but when you do your reach back, you tend to reach away from the line. So what I'm going to have you guys think about is reaching up the line. Now it keeps your swing plane parallel to your feet. So when I do my reach back, I'm very casual and very relaxed. It's kind of like I'm just turning my hips to shake somebody's hand instead of kind of throwing my weight this way, if you will. So I'm going to keep my hips turning, because that's a big part of the disc golf swing, are those hips engaging. That's where the speed really comes from. So when I'm doing my ProPull exercise, I'm going to reach up the back end of the line just like I would my normal swing. But one thing I don't want to do is start my swing with my upper body and just make this an upper body workout. I don't want to do this, because this teaches me nothing about timing and the fluidity of my swing. So what I'm going to do is break it down just like one of my normal swings. I'm going to reach back and load. I'm going to get those hips to turn, and I'm going to do that exercise slow, like I'm firing the disc, and really feel that extension from the forearm to the wrist, because these two joints are independent. Super, super important. This is a big part of doing it right. Okay, is you want to do it slow motion so you can really feel the action of your swing while building this strength and speed at the same time. It may seem kind of silly to think, well, you're going slow to build speed, but that's a part of the process, is that this action can get sped up, and the more repetitions you do, the more strength you build, which increases your speed. So let's do this nice and slow, and I'll show you guys what my goal is for this. I'm going to parallel my feet about 8 or 10 inches off of the line so that the disc is hovering the line. I'm going to do my reach back in that same athletic motion I would a normal throw. I'm going to do my reach back. I'm going to get those hips engaged and get those hips firing slow motion, turning those hips, engaging my throwing motion, and finishing it off with the wrist. Finishing it off with the wrist. I'm freezing that action there, and then I can follow through with my body. One thing I'd really like to see people do, or while you're practicing this, is really focus on that follow through with the body. You can turn your body and let this band wrap around you. It's not going to hurt you. All right. I've got my reach back. I've got those hips engaging, starting that pulling mechanism with the shoulder as I'm turning. Boom, fire, follow through. That's what it should look like, and even slower if you want. You can really see how I'm trying to snap my wrist on the front cone here. Boom! So I'm popping my wrist in the space in front of me. And I think this is the best way to use the ProPull. I think if you just stand here and do this, you're going to get all this play in the band, and it's not going to feel like a normal swing at all. It's just going to feel like you're waving your arm, and this tension's going to catch up somewhere. It's really important that you set it up so that you can feel the extension at the pressure rather, at the extension of your swinging motion, of your swing and snap. That's what you're really looking for, is to feel that pressure build as you're extending and snapping with the wrist.